Mosquitoes continue spreading serious diseases throughout the country, especially in places like Florida. Some of these diseases include dengue and also chikungunya, which, by the way, Lindsay Lohan recently contracted when she was on a trip. And so British researchers are doing something with genetically modified mosquitoes, and they're planning on releasing male genetically modified mosquitoes in Florida, in the Keys. The reason why they're doing this is because when the males basically mate with the females, they produce offspring that is not viable. So the mosquitoes start to die off. Now, this all sounds great, except a lot of people are really concerned about the genetically modified mosquitoes and the impact that they can have on humans. In fact, there is a change.org petition that has already been signed by 130,000 people who are against releasing the genetically modified mosquitoes in the Keys. They're worried that if these mosquitoes bite humans, it'll actually transfer genetically modified DNA to humans. So they're worried that this could actually have some health ramifications on human beings. Now, researchers are saying, no, you guys have nothing to worry about because male mosquitoes do not bite humans, but people are still not convinced. Now, the point that I'd like to make about this is a lot of times people will hear GMO or genetically modified and they'll see it as a black or white issue. They're either for it or against it. But there are gradations, and in cases like this, considering climate change and considering the impact that these diseases and viruses are having on people, stuff like this makes sense to me. And yes, we should have more studies and we should be as careful as possible, but in a situation where people are dying from diseases, if there's a solution, we should really consider it. Drew, what do you think? Make your point.
Two things. I feel like one is like, what's the impact it's going to have on just nature and like the animal kingdom, insects and everything. You don't know what's going to happen with that. And then also, it just feels like a movie that's about to go bad. Like I just feel like something's going to happen and it's just going to go totally off course what they thought, kind of like Jurassic Park or something like that, where it's just like things not genetically modified, nature finds a way, something's going to happen. I just kind of against it. So. Yeah,
I mean, I think generally people are afraid of what they don't understand, and I think that I'm definitely very much against in a broad sense, vilifying of GMO stuff, because I think that in many ways it could be used for really positive, in positive aspects. For example, in Uganda, there are a lot of children who are deficient in vitamin A, and that results in like stunting of their growth, blindness, stuff like that. And so they're now trying to modify bananas to be high in vitamin A, which they're not typically high in. And so I think that that's an amazing thing that could potentially get, an initiative that could get stunted if, people are just like ban GMOs, blah, blah, blah. So this mosquito example, I think, is potentially a good idea. I mean, like these viruses that people are contracting in growing numbers in Florida, are dangerous. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's a personal question. Let's lighten it up a little bit. What's the strangest or most unconventional thing you've done to boost your own health? Drew, you're a professional athlete, so I'm very curious about this.
Honestly, disgusting wheatgrass. I've tried shots of that, and I just cannot do it. It feels like I'm just eating grass. I mean, it is grass, but I'm saying like going outside and eating my front lawn.
That's really the weirdest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, I was really just conventional where training and hard work and nothing crazy for like sports and stuff like that, but I don't really go outside the, maybe barometric chamber type thing.
Yeah.
My teammates did it. I never did it. I just felt like just hard work and sweat and tears.
Didn't need it. All right. Max, what about you?
I guess definitely the weirdest thing I've ever done is our niacin flushes. Have you ever heard of that? So basically you take a high dose of niacin and it acts like a really potent vasodilator. And so you get this like incredible rush of just like heat and you turn bright red like a lobster and it just like...
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, well it's really good for like detox, it rushes oxygen to the skin, like removes toxins, things like that, just gets your metabolism stoked. And so I would do that and I would take it with a cocktail of other supplements, thinking that because all of the capillaries were like opened up, it would just lead to greater bioavailability of like all these other supplements I was taking. But the worst is when you forget that you've taken it because it takes like a half an hour to start working, and then you go to like a meeting, and all of a sudden in the middle of a meeting you turn like a cherry tomato. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
And how do you feel? How do you feel afterwards? Do you feel
you feel amazing. Okay. You feel completely amazing. But another thing that it does is it gets all of your like mucous membranes, so your nose starts running. You look like a mess, but it's really good for you.
Wow! I think the craziest thing I did was like my mom had bought this tea, like a green tea that's supposed to like make you lose weight.
Yeah.
And this was when I was a teenager, and I thought like, oh, I'm chubby, I need to lose some weight. It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I drank it right before bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt like my stomach was going to explode.
Oh my God.
It's like supposed to like flush you out or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It was the worst. I'll never do it again.
For sure.
Second crazy thing, since my parents are Armenian, they believe in crazy like homeopathic things that don't actually work. And I had my first blood test, and my cholesterol was high because I didn't fast. But I didn't realize that that was the reason why it was high. And so my mom's like, you have high cholesterol. You need to drink this concoction that I'm going to make right now. And it was just lemon and garlic, pure lemon and garlic. And it was terrible. She would make it in bulk and put it in a bottle, so it just didn't taste fresh. And it was just lemony and garlicky, and like it made you burp lemon garlic stuff. It was horrible.
And great breath.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me, and I didn't really have high cholesterol. So that was the craziest thing I did for health. What have you guys done to boost your health? Comment in the section below. Let us know what your tactics are, and also what do you think about these genetically modified mosquitoes? I'm sure a lot of you have very strong feelings about it, as you always do when it comes to GMOs. Comment in the section below, and we'll see you soon.